Well, hello and welcome to another video from a new garden. This video is all about the water harvesting system that we inherited from when we bought this place. The previous owner, not the one we bought it off, had it installed. They were market gardeners. They were the ones who grew all these lovely apple trees, and there's a pear tree down there as well. So that it was obviously useful for them all the way down the garden. They had these couple of these lovely large storage tanks. Two large tanks, each holding 2,500 litres each, plus some water butts at the top. So we're looking at about 5,400 litres of water. You may remember a video I did over a year ago now about the importance of water harvesting. It's something quite close to my heart really, with the water features I've built and had in my previous gardens. Obviously all water features lose water through evaporation, and it's better to top them up with rainwater rather than hose water with the chlorine in. And also for growing fruit and vegetables, it's just much better to put rainwater on them. I think I get this love of water butts and water harvesting from my dad. My dad's a keen gardener, always growing his own vegetables, allotments, and he's just always had water butts. So I think subconsciously that's been instilled in me, and here I am now with all these litres of potential storage. Even more important now, we're down here on the south coast, and we've just had a hosepipe ban put on us. We've not had any decent rain for quite a while now. So yes, collecting rainwater is very important, and I can't urge you enough to, if you've got a water butt, add two more if you can. If you haven't got any, start now. It's I think it's very important. The way this climate's going, collecting rainwater as much as you can is the way forward. Anyway, I'm going to turn the camera around in a minute, and I'm going to head back up that way. I'm going to show you all the different kinds of water butts we've got around this property and how they connected and how I'm going to use them now. So starting at the front side of the property, I have these four 100 litre water butts here. These can be connected together. I'm using them currently with a watering can to water the plants at the front. These can be connected to a hose pipe which runs down that way to the first of the large storage containers under the decking, which I'll show you in a minute. So first off, that's 400 litres of water here. So now we're around to the rear of the property, and under this decked area we've got these storage tanks here, and these they can hold up to 2,500 litres of water. All of the rainwater from the roof comes down to here. Also, that hose pipe from the water butts drops into the top here, so if I want to open the valve and empty those into here, I can do that. Now this blue valve here is currently off. This feeds another version of this further down the garden, which I will show you in a minute. At the moment I've got that turned off because I've emptied all of this water via that valve down to the tanks down the bottom of the garden. So if we ever do get any rain again, I can start filling these up again. So please excuse the garden. Like I say, I've only been here a couple of weeks. I'm doing my best to tidy it up. But that pipe there runs all the way around the edge of the property here, down all of here, and you can see here is another 2,500 litre storage tank. This pile of rubbish here is everything I've pulled out so far from the hedges that the previous homeowner left, which I need to put in a skip, which isn't good at all. But anyway, when we moved in, this tank was turned off. The reason being, there's a broken T-piece down here. So as you can see, I've renewed the T, renewed the elbow, put a new section of pipe in. So this is now full of water, which was currently all being held in that tank up there. The outlet from here runs along here. You can see there's a valve which is currently turned off. This valve was already here. I managed to unearth it all in that hedgerow. Here is the sleeper fence that you saw me build in the last video. I'm just going to take you through the other side of this fence. And then what I've done here is, you can see under this little table I've just put here, I've put an elbow here. I've run some new 25mm poly pipe up to an outside tap, which I can put my watering can under. I will be putting some raised sleepers behind here for growing vegetables, but as you may remember, I planted over here some fruit trees just after I finished the fence. Now I've had another thought, which you're going to see in this video now. Obviously this is all gravity fed, so the height of this outside tap is obviously I'm losing this amount of water in those tanks that I can't access because of the height needed to fit a bucket or a watering can under. So what I'm going to do is cut a T here and channel into the ground and cover it up, some blue poly all the way over here towards this section where I've got these trees, and then I'm going to run via a valve that I can turn on and off pipe work to each of these, drop an elbow down to the roots of these plants, so with the opening of one valve I can water all 4 of these in one go. That's what we're going to do now. Okay, so the pipe is run to every root, all 4 of these trees. Again, we got the pear, we've got a hazelnut, we have a cherry and a nectarine. I'm going to test these now, get the water on, see how it runs. You can watch in real time if this all works, and then what I'm going to do is add some more gravel on top of this pipe just by the root, just give it a pooling area there, and then we'll put all the soil back on top and we're good to go. So let's turn this valve on here. Hear the water running, always a good sign. Okay, so we can see we have water running nicely to the roots and over here and over here. Redirect that once I've got the gravel. So with a bit of tamping down with some gravel, and then when I soil this in, everything now is getting pretty equal amount of the water. These ones here are a little bit lower, so these are going to get favoured a bit more, but I have got it so all of these now getting water, and that just gives me, say, more access to the sort of bottom foot or so of that storage tank, that using the outside tap water, watering can height just can't get me. So I'm going to fill this in now and then show you at the end. Okay, that's me all done, everything's covered back up. Like I say, it just gives a bit extra water out of that tank to these trees. It is only gravity, and it's only coming from that bottom tank. If I'd been coming from the top tank, obviously there'd be a little bit more head pressure and it'd float a bit more, but at the moment we're just working off that bottom tank till we can get some decent rainfall, get both tanks filled up. Then obviously the water pressure, the head pressure will be much greater down this end of the garden. So as always, thank you very much for watching. Hope you found it interesting. Hope you give you some new ideas or some idea about the importance of water harvesting. Get those water butts in, get as many as you can, join them together. Remember, in my old house I had 3 joined together at the back. I had another one off the shed, another one off the garage. You can't have enough. When it rains, make the most of it. And as you can see, this little bit of head pressure here just gives enough. I can just leave this on for 5-6 minutes while I'm doing something else. That can be watering itself. I don't have to stand there with a watering can And I'm certainly not going to be using the hose from the water mains. So yeah, let's get that all filled up at the top. Once we do get some rain, and we'll get some good head pressure down here. But for now, there's going to be plenty of more projects going on in this garden. As you can see, it's a big area. I mean, I've got lots of menial tasks here, lots of trimming, just keeping it tidy, keeping the grass mown. We're doing these planters soon. Obviously, there's going to be a big water feature up at the top end of the garden at some point. I'd like to think I'm going to get it started this year, but my workload with my business is, I shouldn't moan, it's brilliant, it's full on, so it's probably not going to be till next spring I'm going to get started on that. But that's going to be an amazing project. I've got lots planned for that. But for now, I'll stop waffling, and I'll see you in the next one.